Member of Parliament and senior Supreme Court advocate and foreign policy wonk, if I can say that, Mahesh Jethmalani is with us today. Mr. Jethmalani, we saw the pictures of the Indian army pushing the Chinese back recently. We had a statement uncontested from the Chinese. We have a statement from Lieutenant General Kalita. We have the situation on the ground. We have the quick de-escalation. But when you hear Rahul Gandhi, it's almost like he wishes. It's not, he wishes our army was thrashed, which is not the case. Is he getting delusional? Is it a problem of information or is it a problem of his comprehension?
I think Rahul Gandhi, it's very difficult to decipher the state of his mind, Arnav. I don't know. He doesn't realize the impact of what he's saying. He just says things ad hoc, without any deliberation. How does he know? First of all, he was on the Bharat Jodo so-called yatra. How does he, from that distance, know what happened? Who is feeding him this information? He was not on site, clearly, right? So this is hearsay. Somebody has told him this. Now, who are his sources that told him that the Indian army was beaten? Who are the sources that told him that the Chinese attacked successfully? Where is he getting this information from? Somebody should now get Rahul. This is a national security issue. Somebody should call in. Maybe the NIA should call in Rahul Gandhi and say, look, you are warmongering. You're saying the Chinese are going to attack us, right? Okay, there have been skirmishes. This has happened in the past frequently, right? But this is not a warlike situation. You are warmongering, right? And you are now spreading false information. What is the source of your information that our soldiers were beaten and they were defeated and put on the run? Please tell us what your source of information is. Secondly, what is your information per se? Yes, there's been an infrastructure built up by the Chinese on both these fronts, Ladakh and Arunachal Pradesh. No question, it's been going on. We've been countering it equally with building up our infrastructure. But what is the point of saying that there is going to be a war? Yes, the Chinese have shown aggressive intent. We all know that. They've done it in Taiwan too. They've gone much further in Taiwan. But the point is, Rahul Gandhi must now speak with some sense of responsibility. He can't behave like an entitled brat and say whatever he wants. These have ramifications in this country. This is a national security issue. Certainly it behoves this man to speak with greater responsibility. I don't expect anything from the Congress party, but I think the rest of the opposition should get together that, look, unlike you, we are united on the integrity of this country.
Now, one way of dealing with this situation is, as has been in the past, that the person in question has a problem. We all know there is a problem, and there has been a problem. The other way of looking at it is more seriously, because he has gone to China and entered into a secret agreement. I want to put the pictures. Into a secret agreement with the Chinese Communist Party. And I don't know the extent to which that agreement could have compromised him. Now, unless we see the agreement, we don't know whether Rahul Gandhi has been compromised by the Chinese. It's a very serious issue. I'm not making it rhetorically. If an individual who is a politician in India and who gets the access of a politician in India has been compromised by the Chinese via that written agreement, we need to know now. It can't be a matter of individual privilege, I will not reveal it. So I think it becomes a more serious matter than that. You talk about the NIA, but at least let's begin by getting that contents of that agreement.
Well, given the fact that he's a frequent spokesperson for what appears to be a pro-China line, or for China in other words, right? I think it behoves him now to make a disclosure of interest, right? There is, as you said, that MOU of 2008. It has been talked about frequently. People have asked questions about it, right? Why is the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi so averse to disclosing its terms? This cannot be innocuous, given the fact that every time there's a skirmish on the border, Rahul Gandhi speaks in a particular manner, which is basically to denigrate the Indian army, right? And indirectly, therefore, to show that the Indian government, right, is not doing enough, the present Indian government. So, given all that, it behoves him at least to show what that MOU says, because maybe he's being put up by some, the terms of this agreement demand that Rahul Gandhi do this at China's bidding. every time they want to create a skirmish, which is basically to irritate India, right? Because we are a rising power, and this is one rising power against another, right? So maybe he's being put up to do this as per the terms of the agreement. The terms of the agreement demand that you act in synchrony with our demands every time we have a skirmish. I don't know.
The behavior, and I'll wrap up the one-on-one with this, and I want you on a bit of a debate also, Mahesh. The behavior is irrational to a great extent. Viewers, if you closely examine the kind of tweets that this gentleman in question has been putting out in 2020 particularly, if you see the tweets, there is a lack of balance in the tweets. On June 22nd, he says, China killed our soldiers, China took our land. Now, that's not the kind of commenter any person with any maturity says. Then he jokes on issues like this, Mr. Jethmalani. He says, China here to stay, where? On our land. Ha, ha, ha. It's not funny. October 10th, 2021. It's not funny. June 10th, 2020. The Chinese have walked in and taken our territory in Ladakh. Meanwhile, the PM is silent and has vanished from the scene. This is the kind of trolling that you would expect from front agencies of the PLA or the Global Times.
Yes, absolutely.
It's crazy talk. I don't mind the crazy talk on other situations, but not vis-a-vis the army and on strategic issues, Mr. Jethmalani. So this is getting very serious. He has to disclose what he signed and whether he's been compromised.
Absolutely. Look, I see no problem with the opposition asking for a statement on China. What is the real situation? They've got it, both from the army and the defense minister in parliament.
Yes.
But now, in spite of that, for Rahul Gandhi to rattle on with the kind of irrationality he's doing, because there is no evidence for what he says, is really now becoming a little unbearable. It's becoming intolerable. Somebody has to stop this. And the first thing to do is to actually seize that MOU. Secondly, to ask him, why didn't he return that 1.75 crores donation to the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation? Right? What happened to it and why did he take it? And should you be talking in this vein because it raises suspicions about you? That there's some quid pro quo for all these donations and that secret agreement records what that quid pro quo is?
I think there's a need. There's an urgent need. Urgent need. Mr. Jethmalani, I'll thank you there. I'll thank you at that stage. And I want to ask the Congress representative on the program,